Good afternoon, Facebook and YouTube. We're up on Insta as well. Hello. Welcome to Daily Live number, I think we're on number 12. I might have put it in as number 11 on Instagram. Guys, we're going to be working on some hip stabilisers today, specifically your glute med. We're going to be doing a couple of different exercises and a stretch at the end. We're going to be using a little band. That's all we're going to play with today. Just a stretchy. This one's a cloth band, but you can get them made out of rubber as well. So choose whichever one you prefer. Give me a hashtag live if you're watching live. Give me a hashtag replay if you're watching a replay. Give me a thumbs up. Ask me a question, and I'll answer it if I can. We're also going to be talking about the importance of sort of reiterating a post that OMR coach Monique put out a little while ago, just talking about not training with chalk and why that's important as an obstacle racer. So we're going to go through that. But what we're going to do first is just some exercise. So we're going to start out with our band on. It's going to go just above our knees. I'm just going to see if I can get myself framed properly. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to be about there. That'll work. Okay, so all we're going to do for the first exercise, we're going to go like 45 on, 15 off. And we're just going to come down into a squat and we're just going to come back and forth. So from the side, lower you can go with this, the better. Just whatever works for you. So, didn't silence my phone. Whoops. So, Mon put up a post a little bit earlier about not using chalk as an obstacle racer when you train, especially doing your grip work. Now, this is especially important because I was just out at Raw Challenge all day, and that's enough of that. I was just out at Raw Challenge all day, and it was a bit muddy out there, a little bit slippery. Some of the guys are trying to go across the rings. They're all slippery and can't do it because it's wet. So you're not allowed to take chalk on an obstacle course. So our next exercise, guys, we're going to do a single leg dead, just like that. And our hip's got to stabilise this. So what I might do is slide you right back. So I'm a bit better in the frame. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, so the guys, this balance is all over the fucking shop. The guys out at Raw, we're trying to go across the rings. Hands are slippery, bit of sunscreen on, and yeah, it's tough. So you've got to be prepared for whatever conditions you're going to find on race day, and that means if you're going to, say, what could potentially be quite a hot event at Spartan Gold Coast coming up, you want to do a bit of heat acclimation, so getting in saunas, stuff like that. If you're going into a cold event, say you're doing a 24-hour enduro, that gets surprisingly spicy, those single leg deads. If you're doing a really cold event, like a 24-hour enduro, you know you're going to be going through a dam in the middle of the night, you really want to be doing some like cold plunging and some cold acclimation. So the same sort of thing applies with your conditioning your body. If you know you're going into an event with a lot of sand, like if I was going to World Champs at Abu Dhabi, I'd be running on the fucking beach every day, you know? And if I'm going into an obstacle race where potentially it's going to be wet, then that's what I want to be optimized for with my grip strength, right? So you want to be training for the worst possible scenario on race day. So yeah, the weather might be good and your grip strength might be really strong when the weather's good, but if you wet the bars up or you wet your hands up and then you can't hang on anymore, that's going to be a really weak point if you come to race day. So you really want to make sure that that's not the case. That's not a weak point. So if you're always using chalk when you exercise, the next movement, we're just going to come down into a yogi squat, and we're going to really drive those knees apart. Just hold it. Yeah, so if you can only ever do monkey bars in a climate controlled gym with chalk on your hands, then you get out onto a course and it's wet, you're going to be fucked. So that doesn't mean that chalk doesn't have a place and a purpose. You just don't want to always use it so that it becomes a crutch. In the same way that you don't want to always use gloves to protect your hands, because at some point you're not going to have the gloves and then your hands are just going to rip to fucking shreds, right? Because you're going to have these soft hands. So you want to be training for the worst possible conditions. So, you know, chalk has a place in training for fucking sure. If you're going for a deadlift PB, you know, chalk might be that difference if the grip is the weak point. But if you're doing monkey bars every week, and say you're at a level where you can do the monkey bars wet, then you're really robbing yourself if you're doing it with chalk. So chalk's a training tool, but it shouldn't be used all the time. And remember that I'm talking specifically to obstacle racers here. So if you're a CrossFitter, you can use chalk during competition. You fucking do you. But if you're an obstacle racer, you need to train for the conditions that you're going to be in. So the last move that we're going to do is another just passive one. We're just going to lay back and we're just going to let gravity work on our legs for about 45 seconds. Now, usually I would do this stretch for a little bit longer. Often I do this when I'm laying in the lounge, say I'm watching Netflix or something, or watching a podcast. I'll just lay in the lounge in this position. So, a little bit of strengthening for the glute meads today, main hip stabilisers, and then some release work. Sort of an active release, and this being a bit more of a passive release. The active sort of driving apart the knees with the elbows. So yeah, guys, don't rob yourself of results on the day. If you are training to get good at obstacle racing and you're always using chalk in a climate controlled gym and then you go out onto a wet course, you're going to be in for a rude fucking shock. So don't make that mistake. And always good content coming out of Monique on our socials. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Sorry it was a little bit late, the live today. I did spend the morning out at Raw Challenge running a corporate event. So catch you guys.